Om Shanti. Welcome to today's episode of Masters of Change. It doesn't matter where we are because it is nowhere as compared to where we began from and where we can actually go. Change is constantly happening. Change is not in our hands, but what is actually in our hands is to grow through that change. We need to have the right kind of perspective when going through change. And to help us do that, today we have with us Sister Christine from Australia. Welcome, Sister.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
It is a pleasure. Why don't you start by telling us something about your journey?
Okay, well, I came to the Brahma Kumaris in 1986 in Adelaide in Australia,
Right.
where I was studying electrical engineering. So I had moved up from the country where I grew up in a small town, and during my studies I thought that meditation would help me, and so I contacted a centre in my suburb and I went along and did the Raj Yoga course.
Oh, nice.
So,
How old were you and were you religious back then when you joined the Centre for Meditation?
I was 21, almost 22, and I had grown up as a Christian. My parents and my family were Christian. I went to a Catholic primary school and was educated by nuns in junior school from age 5 to 12, and then went to the public high school. So I had a firm grounding in that, and I really enjoyed the company of the nuns and so forth. There was a convent actually in the school grounds, and occasionally we were allowed to go in there, and I really liked that. But I wouldn't have said I was particularly a religious person, and I felt spiritual, I suppose, from a young age.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you believe in God? No.
Yes.
You did?
Yes, I did. But I felt that God was someone I should be able to talk to.
And you did not used to get answers when you used to talk to God in church?
I don't know, but they weren't very clear. If I did, they weren't very clear.
All right. Okay. And why did you feel that there was a need of meditation for your studies and for your life?
Okay, I'd been living in the city by myself, well not, away from family and friends that I knew, so I was in share houses with other students because it was a university city and that's the way young students lived. So I felt a bit alone. It was quite challenging, physically, emotionally, financially challenging, and I thought that meditation would be a practical way to help me, deal with that, as well as the pressure of study. So that it was quite an intense course that I was doing. And at that time in engineering, there were very few women, so probably 3 or 4%. And that was an added challenge. I felt that people didn't understand me very well or what I was going through.
So to handle all those things, to reduce pressure and stress, you thought meditation would be the right thing to go for?
Yes.
Yeah. And did you follow any other forms of meditation prior to Raj Yoga meditation, or you happened to come across Raj Yoga meditation in the first go?
I looked into Hatha Yoga, which involved some meditation aspect of it, but I enjoyed that, but it didn't quite hit the spot for me. It didn't quite resonate with a deeper part of myself.
Okay.
So I did enjoy that.
So Hatha Yoga is more of a physical thing than sitting and meditating, or how is it?
Yes. So, well, the one that I did was physical exercises, some stretching, some poses, and it would finish with a lying down meditation with some visualization, and very relaxing. It was very relaxing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it didn't do the purpose that you were looking for.
It didn't heal my heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did you come to Raj Yoga meditation? Did someone introduce it to you, or you found the center yourself?
Yes, it was actually in the suburb where I lived, the centre, which was not very far away, and because I was a student on a limited budget, my transport was a bicycle. Yeah. So I thought, well, I can bicycle there, and the course was free. So that was also within my budget.
Benefit. There was a benefit.
Yeah.
So when you entered the center, so how was your experience? Did you expect anything while going to the center, or you went with an open mind and just wanted to explore what it has to offer?
Yes, well, at that age, I was very open and curious and very welcoming to whatever it would offer. And it was in a house, a suburban home, and I just knocked on the door, and there were brothers, some Brahma Kumari brothers, men living in the centre, and they were conducting the courses. So they welcomed me with a lot of respect and gave me the meditation course, and were very kind. So,
nice.
Yeah.
So it had a nice atmosphere.
Yes, yeah, it was very clean, very simple.
Yeah. And so how did your life change after that, or did you find it nice? And how was it like? How was your experience like?
Well, on the very first night, I had an experience of feeling extremely peaceful in the meditation. My teacher actually talked a lot, so I didn't ask many questions because he gave really long answers. But in the meditation, I felt very, very, very peaceful, and I didn't want to move afterwards. I just wanted to sit in peace. And there was a commentary which said about knowing my own mind, and my mind is peaceful, and this is who I am. And that somehow that hit the spot for me, and I felt very comfortable with that. So everything I felt very comfortable with, and it seemed very familiar. Everything that was being told to me, it was very just comfortable, I suppose. And I went home and I thought, I've heard this before, and I had some books that I had purchased some, help yourself books, and I looked through them. I couldn't find what this Brahma Kumari brother had told me, so I thought it fitted.
Okay. So did you tell someone that you're going for meditation, you're looking for meditation? Because at that age, usually your circle is such that people don't really focus that much on meditation and on mind. They're mostly towards studies, or they're growing up, so all the other attractions around them is so powerful, like parties and traveling around the world. So that spirituality takes a back seat. So did you discuss it with anyone, your family or your friends?
No, not really, because as I said, I was sharing with some students, and I didn't know them previously, so we were on good terms, but not particularly deep friendship. And then I was one of the few females in the course that I was studying, so we had good student relationships, but I didn't talk much to them.
Okay.
My family were in another city far away. So
you were on your own, and you could take any decision that you wanted?
Yes,
oh,
yes.
Nice.
And my childhood had been quite free in that respect as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
So when you started with it, take us through the journey. What changes did you see in yourself, and did it make your life more peaceful? And your work, your studies, how did it affect that?
I think one of the first things that happened was my mind felt a lot more clear.
Okay.
So I was able to focus on my studies more. At that time, I decided to actually leave my studies in the end, so I did that. But in my life, I felt much more in control. I wanted to continue straight away, so I started attending the centre right from the time that I finished my meditation introductory course, which was over 2 weeks. I started attending the centre daily because I thought this might not be easy, but it's going to work for me.
So I said, feeling.
Yes. So I said, okay, I will take the path that works. And I'd made this internal decision that I want to sort out all the thoughts in my mind that were not good and so forth, and my emotions.
Yeah.
And I needed a way that would definitely take me there. So I thought, this is the right path. My car doesn't go very well at the moment, but the road is the right one.
Correct. So you started going to the centers, and
Yes.
you started meditating, and I suppose that you were attending the spiritual lessons as well daily, the
Yes.
spiritual knowledge.
Yes.
So apart from this, what was your goal like? Was there any purpose that you had set for yourself at that age? Was there anything in particular that you were looking to achieve?
Not particularly, actually, not in a material sense. And I'd been like that, since childhood as well. I didn't have a particular career goal, even though I'd chosen engineering. That was just an interest in a way. And I didn't want to travel. I wasn't interested in that. I wasn't interested in a lot of things.
That's nice. That's a lot of freedom, because many parents at that age want their kids to do something, and they bring up their kids that they think that materialistic success is the success that they should have, and the success is measured on basis of what you have and what have you achieved, and where you are financially, and that wasn't an issue for you, so it was easy. What advice do you have for people who are running towards things which doesn't matter in the long run, and because of which they are sacrificing happiness along the way?
I think if they know that it's sacrificing their happiness, think what's really important to them, and take a space. While they're running, just take a space and see, where do I really want to go, and
introspect.
Where it's just be with themselves, listen to their own self, and is their own self really getting fulfilled by that? Is it fulfilling their sense of purpose?
Correct.
And where will it really take them? And you've probably heard that, when people say when they're dying, they think about the things in their life that they would like to say, the ones that they've loved or they would like to have loved more. Think about what's important. Yeah, and so forth.
So now after 40 years, has it been 40?
Almost 40 years.
40 years.
Yeah.
So now when you look back, and would you suggest something to your younger self back there in 24 that you could have done this differently? Is there something that you regret maybe, or wanted to do something in a different way?
1,000 things.
Okay.
But yes, I would say don't worry. Don't worry about it. Don't get upset about little things. It's going to be okay. Be confident in yourself. Trust yourself. Yeah. Have faith in yourself. You're on the right path. Keep going. It's all right. So I would be very, very reassuring towards my younger self.
Okay.
And
so
I probably would say have more fun.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So was it difficult, this spiritual path? It is not that easy to follow as it looks from the outside. You have to make a lot of sacrifices along the way. And especially when you were so young, you had to give up on certain things to follow this. I'm imagining that you left non-veg food, which is a huge thing in Australia where you come from. So all those things, parties, the other thing in your nightlife, and all those things, were that an issue for you?
Well, I became vegetarian at 16 when I was still in high school, very, very naturally. Just one day I was walking along and this thought came in my mind that I don't eat meat anymore, and since that moment I haven't.
Oh, nice.
So that was easy. It's super easy. I did have cheese and tomato sandwiches for a long time until I learnt some recipes. So that I had to learn.
So why did you think that there was a need to leave non-veg food?
I didn't think that. I didn't have that thought. I just thought I don't do that anymore.
Didn't feel like doing it?
I just didn't feel it. I never felt it. It was completely natural.
Okay.
So I know some people struggle with that, but for me it was not a struggle at all.
Correct.
And as a student, I didn't have much money, so there were no parties because I couldn't afford to go out, and the study was very intense. So term time I just studied, although there were a couple of parties in between, but I wasn't a really party sort of person. So I had some friends that I enjoyed deep conversations with, but that also wasn't a problem.
Okay. How important is a group for you? Did the community, being in a community, helped you, or when you must be having some tough time to go through certain situations, did it help you?
Absolutely, it did. Yes, I also didn't go to the meditation centre, looking for a group to belong to. Yeah. I actually wanted to be alone in a way. To be able to work on things by myself without interruptions, in a sense, or the emotional influence of others or something like that. But people were very kind to me and very helpful. They included me in things, they gave me chances to develop through doing some tasks in the centre, through giving me a few challenges of things that I'd never done before, whether administrative, whether giving course, taking the classes myself, different things that they really supported me through. So that was very helpful. So, and I think that community being there all the time, daily class, I knew that however I felt, whether I was up and down, that was going to be stable. So it definitely was an anchor. And now over, as you say, almost 40 years, I feel the group's very important, and I actually do run a centre in Sydney. So, yeah, so I'm on the other side now. I actually moved into the centre after 3 years, and so for 28 years I lived in a Raj Yoga centre.
Oh, wow. It had been a complete different experience running a centre.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, if I wanted to know that what is that one or two things that make this organization, Brahma Kumaris, there are many spiritual organizations around the world, and people are taking spirituality and meditation now into a serious light, and they want to follow this path. So if you can put some light on what is that one or two things that make this organization different from the other spiritual organizations that are out there.
I think one lady said a beautiful thing the other day in one course. She said, you welcome strangers as though they're your brothers and sisters. And I thought that was really sweet, because I hadn't consciously thought we were doing that, but that was her experience. So I think there's an open door to anyone who comes in. There isn't a charge or, financial expectation. One can donate, but it's not required of a person. And so that's nice. There isn't that focus on what do I give and what do I get. It's just come and do what you can for yourself. The classes are there daily, and the study is the same over the whole world. And anyone can take any aspect of understanding about how to live and how they know themselves to be relevant for how they are at that moment, and they can grow with that. They can there's a vast amount of resources available that are online, that are in centres in person, that people can have access to. So I think that's a wonderful thing. And there are centres all over the world. Yeah. So that's another wonderful thing.
Yeah. That's even I experienced that there's no judgment from whether you are new or old associated with the organization. They welcome you with open arms. I felt that. And so to talk about more, how did meditation help you with your work life? Personal life, I'm sure it has helped you a lot. It has made you more calmer and everything. Did it improve your work life as well? Yes. Well, it's definitely made me more confident. I like to do things accurately and properly and well, so I ended up working in the post office. I put a lot of energy into my work, and I felt always that it was a community service I was doing. I didn't even know if it was payday, when the money was coming in. I wasn't really focused on that, but I really wanted to help the customers and provide them with a good service, and so like that, I always felt that my colleagues around me were people that I wanted to be friendly with and help them, and they would help me, hopefully. But one time, one boss, he said, I've never seen a worker so respected as her. Oh, nice. That's what my next question was, that when if you compared yourself with some other people who were doing the same job, what was it that you were doing differently because of this knowledge? So I guess I received the answer that you were doing it more respectfully. I think so. Respectfully, accurately, reliably, honestly. All the things they put in job applications. We want this, this and that, as well as the skills. They want a person. And I used to give them little affirmation cards for Christmas, and make them some scones with jam, and just it was a nice feeling. Oh, yeah. Nice. So you were giving, basically. Yes, yes. Whatever you were receiving from there. Yes. Oh, nice. And If you can tell me more about the service, when you opened up the center, it must have been a completely different experience. Going to the center as a student and taking the knowledge, and then a whole new responsibility coming on your shoulders of managing the center. How was it like? And what kind of people did the center receive, and what were their expectations?
Well, I entered the centre at the junior level, so that was with another 2 Brahma Kumaris sisters who were Australian women, and they helped me a lot. They were very, a bit more experienced, and also treated me very kindly and helped me, mentored me to understand what to do in the centre and how to be. It was very much learning on the job, but yes, it was the other side of things where I was working full time as well, and then we would come home and do courses and cooking and cleaning and all the jobs of looking after the centre, arranging the programs and whatever was required.
Was it any time taxing for you?
Absolutely. Yeah, very, very busy, but enjoyable. Okay. Yeah, and we were all doing that, and we loved it. And I had a lot of energy, a lot more energy perhaps in those days. But many different types of people would come to the centre. In those days in Australia, it was mostly the kind of people who'd been born in Australia. Now we have a lot of people from Indian backgrounds and other nationalities. And Australia is very multicultural, particularly Sydney these days. So but all sorts of people, and again each centre I was at, I've been in a few, we developed a small community there, and so you get to know people, and we did things together, and we, as well as all the work, we had picnics and we had whatever fun, So
it's so nice to be able to give back to the same community you got so much from. So
absolutely,
it must have been a nice feeling.
Yes, I think that's another aspect of the Brahma Kumaris that's, I don't know if it's different or not, but those who feel I've got more to give, they can contribute in some way.
Correct. And when was the first time you came to India? This was all happening in Australia, and since the origin of this knowledge and organization is in India, when was the first time you came to India, and how was the experience like?
I came in March 1988, so it was about 1.5 years after I'd come to Brahma Kumaris, and then I'd been practicing for that amount of time continuously. So that was my first trip overseas. I had to get a passport, so that was sort of rather exotic at that time, and then a big group of us came at that time. There were, I think, over 50. So we went from Adelaide to Melbourne, which is another city. Adelaide was a very small centre. So Melbourne was a bigger centre, and our flight was at night time. And so there was one centre with, I think, about 4 floors, and right at the top there was a big room, and we all went up there and we watched the film Gandhi. And then because we had time to fill in, so kindly they provided some service, give them something to do. And then we went downstairs, we got on the bus and we went to the airport. So that was kind of inspiring, and then travelling in a big group. Again, I was sort of a bit cloistered. But arriving in India, it was a bit shocking because I'd never been overseas before. It was a bit different. So it took me some time to warm to that experience.
And at that time, I'm guessing there was only Pandav Bhavan here.
Yes. Yes, in Madhaban here in the international headquarters. Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
And so, do you ever feel sometimes that you were the fortunate one to be getting chosen for this path, and because you had a calling since you were very young, or do you think it has something to do with some other things, and luck doesn't play a role that much, and it all depends on how you were, how your actions were?
It's both. It's both. Every day I feel fortunate for this life, and that I chose it. And at any moment we can be at a crossroad. I feel, I can go this way or I can go that way. And I'm thankful that I always said that's the path. I'm going on that path, I'm staying at that path, you know, and I've made that decision.
You had that clarity from the beginning.
I thank myself for staying steadfast in that decision. Not that I've been pulled or felt attracted particularly to anything else, but one can become lazy, you know? Think, oh, maybe today I'll rest more. Yeah. Maybe this week I'm too busy. You know, maybe today, you know, there's something else. But I always felt, you know, go like that. Yeah. And the other thing is, I think if one is ready, there's a certain readiness inside that I'm ready to let go of something. You know, so you talked about, you know, renouncing things and sacrifices. For me, it wasn't particularly a sacrifice. So
it was just a choice that you...
It was a choice, yeah, it was a choice. And you know, it's like standing up to one's own shortcomings too. So you've got to stay with that choice and battle until you win.
Correct. Correct. And the choices that you made were pretty easy for you to make. You didn't have that much of struggle with making those choices and choosing the path. But sometimes people do have certain struggle. They know that this is the correct path for them, but it is not that easy for them to make choices. So what advice do you have for them, whether they should like go hard on themselves to follow that choice, or take time to just let that flow naturally and not force that change on themselves?
I think everyone is different, and I think, you know, go as hard as you can, but if it hurts too much, then, you know, let go a little bit. You know, not to force oneself, because I think people are used to being hard on themselves, and this is more like being soft on yourself, but at the same time being, you know, guiding oneself. So, you know, it depends on the person and what their responsibilities are, if they have intense commitments in their family and so forth. They need to keep everybody happy, you know, because if we make other people unhappy, that's also not good, you know. That's also like putting up a blockage in our own way. So some people have to just be very gradual, and I've known students, they take 10 years, 15 years before say if they're married, their spouse, you know, says, okay, you go, you just be happy, you do what you want. And one man, he even said, no, I just follow my wife. You know, we were just, he was laughing, you know, he said she did this, and eventually he went along with her. Yeah. And there are many examples like that of couples, of families, of single people, of friends, of, you know, siblings and so forth, yeah.
It is different for each one, and to each its own, like they say.
Yes.
So very rightly said. And what is that one thing that you're currently working on yourself that you want to change? Something about yourself that you're currently working on and would like to see a difference in that in future?
I think to keep giving more, just to be so full in my own mind and my own heart that I just keep giving, because that's the best use of time that I can think of. The best way to use my life is to be full and to keep giving and to be available. Now I have a lot of experience, so to be able to share that more with others, that would be incredibly fulfilling.
Correct. And to end our conversation, is there any specific meditation experience that you can think of which you would have had any time in the past or currently, which has had a profound experience, which was so profound that it left an impression on you?
I had visited one centre, and then I went away. I was sort of on a little holiday, and I went to a backpacker hostel. Okay. And there was nobody else there. It was winter time, and people usually go in summer. Yeah. So I'd just been learning meditation, so I said, I'll make a little, it was bunk beds, like wooden bunk beds. So I said, I'll make a little meditation tent in the lower bunk with the blankets, and I'm going to meditate. So I did that, and it looked pretty rough, probably. But, so I hopped inside, and I said in my mind to God, I said, I'm going to sit here until I experience you, until I feel close. Okay. So I did, and I concentrated really hard on myself as the peaceful soul, the Atma, the spirit, and the point of light. And I just kept concentrating and focusing on God in that form, Supreme Soul.
Yeah.
And then my thoughts would go away, and then I said, no, I'm going to stay here until I have good experience. And then I had that experience, just like this very, very close connection. And I said, it's you. Like a very, very old friend, like someone I was very close to. And that moment was very, very special.
Sometimes being stubborn also helps.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, nice. So, thank you for taking out time and speaking to us and sharing your invaluable experiences. And I had so much fun listening to them. Thank you.
Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Om Shanti.